Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Today, we're discussing an overlooked but incredibly powerful financial institution, and that's going to be Langley Federal Credit Union. This credit union will approve credit limits up to $40,000. They also have credit card options no matter where you are on the credit spectrum. So whether you have bad credit or excellent credit, there is something for everyone here. Whether you're considering switching from your current bank or you're just curious about what Langley has to offer, I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know, from membership to credit card approvals and everything in between. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the like button because that really does help the channel out. I truly appreciate all the support, and my goal is to help as many people as possible put themselves in a better financial position. And this video is going to give you all the information that you need to do exactly that. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. First, let's talk about who Langley is. Langley Federal Credit Union has been around since 1936, and at the time of recording this video, it serves over 400,000 members and has more than $5.6 billion in assets. That makes it one of the larger credit unions in the country. In fact, it's ranked among the 100 largest credit unions in the United States. Langley is based in Virginia, but one of the things I like right away is that you don't need a military affiliation to join, and it is nationwide. However, there are over 20 branches concentrated in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. Specifically in Hampton, Newport News, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Poquoson, and Yorktown. They offer extensive in-person services throughout these cities. Next, let's discuss how you actually become a member. Now, Langley is much more accessible than most other credit unions. To join, you can apply online at langleyfcu.org/join, or you can visit a branch, and once again, this requires no military affiliation. Requirements include being 18 years or older, providing proof of identity and your address, and depositing at least $5 into a savings account to establish membership. And I'll be walking you through the application process later in this video. Now, one thing people always worry about when opening accounts with credit unions is whether simply joining can trigger a hard inquiry. Now, in the case of Langley Federal Credit Union, I was able to join and I did not get a hard inquiry. However, they will review your check systems report. Now, if you are having any issues with check systems, then please watch my video on how to remove information from there. I'm going to link that video right here. Now, my personal recommendation is still to freeze all 3 credit bureaus when you're applying for membership. In the past, Langley Federal Credit Union did pull Equifax for membership, and if that does ever change in the future, then I want to make sure that you're protected. Because once again, at the time of recording this video, it doesn't do a hard pull, but things can change. When you apply for credit products like loans, credit cards, or anything like that with Langley Federal Credit Union, they will typically pull Equifax. An Equifax hard pull is generally valid internally for around 30 days. So that means once you have that one hard inquiry on file, you can apply for multiple products within that window without triggering additional hard pulls. If you use this correctly, this will allow you to stack approvals for credit cards, personal loans, lines of credit, maybe even auto loans, while minimizing unnecessary hard inquiries on your credit report. So now that we understand how to become a member, let's actually go over to the website and take a look at a few products with Langley Federal Credit Union. Currently, we are on langleyfederalcreditunion.org. Now, this isn't the home page. I actually went to Home, Resources, and Direct Deposit. I just want to talk about this very quickly. For anyone who's joining this credit union, I implore you, you should consider setting up direct deposit when you actually open your checking account with this particular credit union. One data point that stood out for me is how overwhelmingly approvals happen when people set up direct deposit. There's also a really cool bonus that's going on right now. So you can get paid up to 3 days early. That is a benefit. But one thing that Langley has that I like a lot is that they have this easily switch your direct deposit with a smooth switch line of credit. Now you can switch your direct deposit with no downtime, and you can get up to $2,500, 60 days of no interest, and a fixed 18% APR. Now, the one thing is that you do have to be in branch to do this, but that kind of lets me know exactly what they're trying to do. They are trying to get you here long term. Setting up direct deposit would be a signal letting this credit union know that you're going to stay for the long term. Something like that hopefully will build your relationship, and that way you can get higher limit credit card approvals as well as personal loans, and also getting auto loans with lower interest rates. They also allow you to switch your direct deposit in, again, just minutes with Pinwheel, and you can securely set up your direct deposit to Langley in as little as 90 seconds. It's 100% digital. It's also private. It's simple. There's no forms, no calls, anything like that. So I just wanted to put this on your radar, especially if you are in that area. Getting paid up to 3 days early is nice, but I really like this smooth switch line of credit. I have not seen that with any other credit union. Highly recommend that you check that out, again, if you're in their area. Now, the first thing I want to take a look at with Langley Federal Credit Union will be the checking accounts. Before you become a member, you need to understand how these accounts work. That way you know which one will better suit your particular needs. The first account that we're looking at is the My Design Checking, and this one is good for rewarding yourself with a flexible account that has customizable features. Now, you can enjoy a waived out-of-network ATM fee and waived check ordering fees. You also can get this account at no cost to you. Now, the thing about the My Design Checking is that you can add on exactly what you would want. So it's kind of implied in the name. It's customizable, right? Like you can have this worry-free feature, this steady saver, this ride rebate, or this all-in bundle. And then of course you get a free debit card and free paper checks, cashier checks, and access to digital banking, and of course bill pay. Now let's go back and review the other checking accounts. After that, we have the free checking. Now with this one, it just provides a great place for you to store and spend money. There is no minimum balance required. There are no monthly fees. You can get paid up to 3 days early with direct deposit for quicker access to your money. Now, one other feature that I like is you can monitor your FICO score. It will give you your Equifax FICO 9. So if you're already able to like view your TransUnion and maybe you have your Experian score somewhere else, you can now view Equifax FICO 9 just by opening this account. After that, we have the Essential Checking. Now, this one is a fresh start for members who need a second chance at banking. It's affordable and accessible while helping you rebuild your financial standing. Now, it has a low $5 monthly service fee, which is waived if you have the digital banking app or debit card activity. You also get free access to budgeting and financial tools to stay on track of your goals. The one thing about this account is that you can't open it up online. You have to actually do it inside of a branch, but you also get paid up to 3 days early. Once again, you can see your Equifax FICO 9 score, you can access spend analysis, and you also get maintenance fee reimbursement. So you can have that $5 monthly fee reimbursed just by using your Langley debit card or logging into digital banking once every month. So a very simple way to waive that fee. Then you have the Platinum Checking. Now, this is going to be best for higher balances. You can earn monthly dividends at a rate of 0.50% APY on balances of $10,000 or more, as well as getting paid up to 3 days early with direct deposit for quicker access to your money. Now, that's not the best APY whatsoever, but it is better than nothing. And if you're going to leave your money in the account anyway, it's nice to earn a little bit of money back. Not to mention, at the time of recording this video, you can technically earn 2 times the national average. So again, still better than most traditional banks. Now, if you have any kids, there is an option for a spin card, and that's just like the perfect thing for like maybe new adults, kids who just turned 18, but it's a reloadable prepaid debit card for controlled spending, and that's perfect for budgeting or helping teens manage money. So if you're interested in that, that is something that Langley Federal Credit Union does offer. Now, let's go over the Langley savings accounts. Now, they have a few options that we can take a look at. However, you do need to make a $5 deposit for you to become a member. So at the very least, you will always need to have this Langley savings account. Now, the current savings rate at the time of recording this video will be 0.05, and that's going to be on a minimum balance of $100. But let's take a look at a few of the other options that they have here. Now, one of the first options, which I think is a brilliant idea, is the Langley High Yield Savings Account. You can earn 3.60% APY at the time of recording this video. Now, if you can have literally a checking account that earns dividends and also have a high yield savings account, I think this is one of the best things that you can possibly get. There are no fees, there are no minimums, and I mean, this is designed to actually help you save a lot of money while also earning something for it. Now, let's say that you had $50,000 and you had a savings term of 3 years. I know that's a very long time, and that's a pretty substantial amount of money for most people. But if you did have that, you would actually earn somewhere around $2,700 just for leaving your money in the same place and doing nothing else. Once again, like, I know this isn't the highest rate that you've seen on a high yield savings account, but as rates go down, this will also go down as well. So it is still nice to see a place where you can have your checking, your direct deposit, and earn a higher yield at the same time. So if you're interested in that, this would be one of the accounts I would definitely say that you should get for a savings. Then Langley also has certificates. Now there is a new member only promotion where you can get a 4.11% APY 14-month promotional certificate, and you can lock in that rate. Now, of course, when it comes to like short-term certificates, then you already know if you put the money in, you can't take it out. Otherwise, you'll be penalized. So I wouldn't do that. Now, for the 3 months, of course, it's very low, 0.90%. For the 6 month, 1.90%. For 12 month, it's 3.30%. So if you're putting the money in here and you would like it to grow, definitely just know that you're not going to be able to touch it. But that is nice to know that that promotion is going on right now. This will also help strengthen your relationship with Langley Federal Credit Union. Now, if you're looking at, let's say 18 month, it just gets better, 3.30%. Then there's 24 month, 30 month, 36, 48, and 60. Now, here's what I can say. If the high yield savings account is 3.60%, you really don't need this short-term certificate or this long-term one right now at this moment. Now, as rates change, let's say that the high yield savings account goes down to like 3%, then maybe you want to move some money over into one of these for a locked-in rate that you can get guaranteed, or take advantage of this promotion while it's going on. Then we have the Langley Saves account. Now you can earn 5% APY on your first $500. That's pretty awesome. If we scroll down here, then we can see exactly what the rates are, as well as what the balance that's required in order to meet that rate. Now 500, the first 500, 5%. From 500 to 1,000, 2%, and then greater than 1,000, 0.05%. So if you just wanted to, like, let's say take advantage of the certificate, you can open that for that 4.11% APY promotion, put a little bit of money there, put 500 in this account, earn 5%, and then of course have the other one for your $5 membership, and then set up direct deposit. I mean, that is a great way to build a relationship, have multiple products with money spread around this credit union. That will likely get you approved for a lot of products. And if you have a little bit more money, you can check out the money market accounts. Now with the money markets, you need to have, of course, higher minimums, like 25,000 earns you 2% APY, 100,000, 2%, 250,000, 2.80%, 500,000, 2.80%, and $1 million, 3%. I'm not gonna say, like, if you have that much money, there are so many other places that you can put it for it to grow much faster. I'm not gonna say I would leave that much money there. However, it is good to know that it's being offered to you. And then there's the traditional money market rates, where $100, 0.05, which is the one that we had already seen, 2,500, 0.05, 10,000, 0.05, 25,000, 0.50, 50,000, 0.50, and 100,000, 0.50. Again, that's not like the best rate that I would get. I don't really think that you would need to do that if you had this much money, but just be aware that it is available to you. They also have IRAs. Now, I won't go over that because, you know, that's an investment retirement account. There are many IRAs that you could get, or Roth IRAs. That's going to be up to your discretion and depending on where you want to have that. Now, the last account that we're going to look at is the youth account. Now, you can create great saving habits for your children if you want to start them an account today. And this is just like a custodial savings account where you can monitor, and just something to have for your kids if you want them to have a relationship with this credit union as well. Now, one other thing about Langley that I won't get too much in detail about, because it does require you to have to actually make an appointment and go in the branch, but they do have a Simply Business checking account that you can set up. There is no monthly maintenance fee. They have a free debit card, free QuickBook interface, a free sweep to other Langley accounts. There's also a free business bill pay access and free nightly deposits. Now with this account, it comes with, a few different options. They also have it for corporations, LLCs, partnerships, even sole proprietors. Again, you will need to go in person in order to actually set this account up, but they also have business savings accounts that you can look at as well. And then they have business certificates and business money market accounts. Now, once again, I won't get into great detail about that because it's not national. It's not available to everyone. You will need to be in their physical branch footprint in order to access this account. Now, Langley Federal Credit Union does offer personal loans that you can get with rates as low as 14.99%. While not my favorite rate, just know that it is available. They have same-day funding, no origination or prepayment fees. They also have terms up to 96 months. Now, again, I've just seen better rates lately, and it just all depends on what you're looking for, but just be aware that they do have some options for you, and it would be an Equifax hard pull. You can also get an extra line of credit. They have an 18% APR at the time of recording this video. They also have same-day funding, so if you were interested in just having a revolving line of credit that you can access when you would like, then that is an option for Langley as well. They also show debt consolidation loans as low as 16.99% APR. Again, I'm not a big fan of the rates that they're showing right now, but if you already built a relationship with Langley and let's say you get pre-qualified, these are all options that you just should know are available to you. Now, as well as the personal loans and the personal line of credit and debt consolidation, they also have student loans. They have savings secured loans. So if you're interested in, let's say, trying to build a relationship similar to what a pledge loan would be for Navy Federal, they do have that option here, and they have it with rates as low as 3.55%. So if you were just trying to, let's say, rebuild your credit, you wanted something to report, this would be a great account to use. Now, if you're in the process of rebuilding your credit, you also have the credit builder loan. It's still slightly different. The APR here is a little bit higher. With the other secured loan, technically you could use those funds if you wanted to actually, still have the ability to use them for something else. With this one, your funds would be held in a secured account that you would have no access to. However, it is mainly designed just for building your credit. So in that case, because the secured loan actually had a lower rate, I would be more inclined to do that one. I'm assuming it would probably require a higher minimum, but you can always call Langley and find out the exact details. Now, before we jump into membership, the last thing I want to look at is their auto loans. Now, you can have rates starting at 4.99%, and you can skip payment for 60 days, of course, at the time of recording this video. The one other thing I like a lot, you can get free gap coverage. That is really, really cool. Now, if we scroll down here, you can see that to get that lower rate, you need to have terms between 12 and 75 months. That is a very big gap right there. So as long as you're going as long as 75 months, you can still get a 4.99% APR. Of course, that will be determined by your credit worthiness. Anything 76 months or above will be 6.24%. And of course, that's at the time of recording this video. All right, so currently we are back on the home screen. Now that we understand all of Langley Federal Credit Union's products and services, in particular the checking and savings, let's click on Join Langley. Now, this is the first page that you're going to see when you're trying to join this credit union. The first thing that you want to do is type in your email and then confirm it. Then you want to actually consent, and then you can create your account. Now, once you create your account, you'll be asked to choose the right account for you. And once again, we already went through this. If you want the free checking, the My Design, additional checking accounts, then you can choose that here, as well as your savings and certificates. Now, let's say you want to choose the free checking first and then click continue. Now it's going to ask you for all of your personal details. You'll have to enter your first name, last name, date of birth, your social, your home address, and if you receive mail at that same address, you can keep this box checked. You'll then enter your phone number. They will verify you by sending you a text message, and then you'll also have to scan your ID. So make sure you have your ID handy. You'll then enter your ID type, your ID number, the date your ID was issued, the expiration date, and then if you have like a member referral code, then you can add that here. You'll also want to check all of these boxes and then click continue. Now, once you enter those personal details, you will be asked for your employment status, and then you can put exactly what your situation is. I'm going to put employed for this, and then I'm just going to put my name there. And once you finish this information, you can go ahead and you can actually just hit the next or the submit option here. And will this be a joint account? If it is, then you can click yes. If not, then you can click no and continue. Now you'll be brought to a screen that will show your phone number here, and then it'll show a QR code. You have one option. If you did not get the text message, you can scan the QR code. Then you'll be asked to actually scan your driver's license. All right, once your ID has been scanned, they'll also do a facial recognition. Then you'll get this screen where it shows that it's completed, and you can actually close out this portion of the application. Now, just as we talked about before, alongside actually opening this account, you will need to open a membership savings account. So you'll want to click continue for that. When you do that, it will have to be at least $5. Now, if you want to add a beneficiary for the free checking, then you can. If not, click continue and just move past that point. You'll then be shown your Langley debit card. You can then hit continue once more, and to move on to the next screen, it'll also ask if you would like overdraft protection. If you would like that, then add it. I'm going to say no, decline, and then click continue. And then it'll ask you, would you like to enroll in e-statements? If you would like to, then click yes. If not, then you can click no if you want paper statements. Then you'll want to review and acknowledge the disclosures, and you'll want to go to account opening disclosures. Now, this is the point where I'm going to stop the application. Now, you will also be asked to enter your card information to get the deposit going. They're going to ask you for a debit card or a bank account where you can sign into your current bank, and you have to enter at least $5. And I believe in the checking, it has to be at least $10. So at least a total of $15 between those two accounts. Now, when it comes to credit cards, Langley Federal Credit Union has a lineup that will serve different kinds of people depending on what stage of credit you are currently in and what the credit card can do for you. Now, right now, Langley highlights 4 personal credit cards and 1 business card. That's going to be the Signature Cashback Visa, the Platinum Select Visa, the Platinum Quint Visa, the Platinum Essential Visa, and the Platinum Visa Business Card. Let's start with the Platinum Select Visa. This is Langley's low rate card. At the time of recording, the Platinum Select starts at a low 10.50% APR, depending on your credit worthiness, and it can go up to 18%. Now, this one has no annual fee. It also has that same free monthly FICO score access. It has porch privacy protection and instant digital issuance, so you can add the card to a digital wallet right away after approval. This is the card I would look at if your goal is not to maximize rewards, but you want to keep financing costs as low as possible. So in case you ever carry a balance for a short period of time, you can do so without putting a lot of constraint on yourself. On the Langley website, it actually shows the credit score that each card is geared towards. So if your Equifax credit score is in the fair range, so I would say that could be from a 580 to a 669, you may be able to qualify for this card. Next, we have the Platinum Quint Visa, which sits in an interesting middle ground. Now, Langley describes it as a low fixed rate card with simple, consistent cash back. It earns 1% unlimited cash back on 5 everyday categories. That's going to be groceries, gas, EV charging, wholesale clubs, and drugstores. It has no annual fee. It has a fixed 18% APR and a limited time bonus of $100 if you spend $1,500 within the first 90 days. It also includes that same porch privacy protection and that monthly FICO score access. It's more straightforward than the Signature Cashback Visa, and that simplicity can be a strength for someone who wants a clean, easy card for routine spending without having to keep track of all these moving pieces, right? Now, this card also falls in the fair credit category. Then there's the Platinum Essential Visa. Now, this one is clearly the card designed for people who are in the credit building or credit rebuilding phase, meaning a credit score of 580 or below. Now, Langley literally positions this card to support or establish growing credit. Now, it carries an APR of 18% at the time of recording this video. It has no annual fee. It includes that free monthly FICO score access and also comes with that same instant digital issuance and card controls through the Langley app. Now, this is the card that you get because you're trying to rebuild your profile and create positive payment history and put yourself in position for stronger approvals later. And honestly, that matters because not every institution offers a lineup that still gives people a path upward when their credit is not already perfect. After that, you have the Signature Cashback Visa. Now, Langley markets this as the card for earning the most rewards on your spending, and when you look at that structure, you can see why. The card offers up to 5% cash back on a category of your choice each month if you opt in through digital banking. Now, I'm not a big fan of rotating categories, but 5% is still 5%. And on top of that, it gives you 3% unlimited cash back on gas, EV charging, 2% unlimited cash back on groceries and wholesale clubs, and 1% unlimited cash back on everything else. Now, there is no annual fee on this card, which is amazing, and it has a fixed 18% APR, and Langley also will advertise a limited time welcome offer of $200 when you spend $3,000 in the first 90 days of opening this card, and that rebate would be deposited into your savings account. And once again, that's at the time of recording this video. They also highlight the perks like the porch privacy protection and the extra visa benefits, and even rewards that get applied straight into your savings account. So this card is best for the person who wants the most aggressive reward setup in this lineup and plans to use this card consistently across everyday categories. Finally, on the business side, Langley offers the Platinum Visa Business Card. Now, this card is built for business owners with great rates and high limits, and this card has a variable APR range of 13.75% to 16.75%. You can monitor card activity online, you can view card holders, transaction information, and even set individual limits on each card if you have employees. Langley also points business users to the Visa Savings Edge, which can provide cash back on eligible purchases at participating merchants. So for business owners, this card does appear to be less about entertainment and more about function, oversight, and giving a company a usable day-to-day spending tool. Now, this card requires good to excellent credit, and you do need to apply in a branch. You cannot apply online for the business card. Before we close out this video, let's go over some data points on Langley Federal Credit Union. Now, when it comes to credit pools, we know that Langley Federal Credit Union is well known for primarily using Equifax for their credit products. As far as approval ranges go, a lot of solid credit card approvals tend to come from people who are sitting somewhere around that 580 up to the 700 range. So I would say if you have a credit score of around 650, it puts you in a great position. When you start getting into products like personal loans, personal lines of credit, and other higher level lending products, approval will usually lean more towards members with higher Equifax scores. I would say 680 or better. And once you get into the low 700s and above, you're obviously in a much stronger position. Now, this doesn't mean that someone with fair credit has no chance. It just means that your overall credit file has to be clean. What I mean by that is you can possibly get approved for one of their credit cards with a 600 credit score, but you cannot have derogatory marks, you cannot have collections, you cannot have recent charge-offs, repossessions, foreclosures, or unresolved late payments within the past 12 months. There is a difference between having a low credit score and having derogatory information. You can still get approved by having a low credit score if you build a great relationship. You will not be as lucky if you have a low credit score and you also have derogatory information that basically shows you don't pay back. That is not the same thing. Those are two completely different credit profiles. Now, if you're having issues with that, check out my credit repair playlist. There's a link in the description. You can learn more about removing collections, charge-offs, late payments, and anything that may be holding you back. Now, what I've noticed is that Langley tends to be a lot more forgiving when it comes to older negative items that have already been handled compared to fresh or ongoing issues that still make your credit profile look unstable. Another piece that people underestimate is utilization. Now, if your revolving utilization sits above 30%, especially across several credit cards, that can absolutely hurt your approval odds or lead to lower starting limits. The strongest data points usually come from members keeping utilization under 10% when they apply. Now, this is where Langley starts to separate itself from a traditional bank. Relationship banking can make a major difference here, even if your score is not perfect. If you open up a checking and savings account, you set up direct deposit, maybe look at that certificate or those other savings accounts and let that relationship season for at least 90 days. You are building internal history with this credit union that will never show up on your credit report, but it can be extremely powerful. And in some cases, it can matter just as much as your credit score. That's why you see two people with very similar credit profiles get completely different results. One person jumps in right away with no relationship and they still get approved, but it might be small. Whereas someone else might wait 3 to 6 months and keep money in the account, set up direct deposit, build that relationship properly and apply strategically, and they end up getting much stronger results, sometimes with even higher limits. And that's really what the game is with Langley. They tend to reward patience, planning, and people who come in like they want to actually build a relationship, not just someone who's trying to grab a quick approval and disappear. It's also worth knowing that Langley Federal Credit Union may ask for proof of income on certain credit applications, especially if you're going after, let's say, personal lines of credit or personal loans. It's not guaranteed on every application, but it does happen often enough that you should be ready for it. The good news is that income verification is usually pretty simple. In many cases, they're going to ask for like your 2 most recent paycheck stubs, or maybe even ask for some bank statements. I have an entire video that shows you how to actually create your own paycheck stubs, especially if you're self-employed. I'm going to link that video right here. So even if you have your own business, you'll still be able to get approved. Now, Langley isn't trying to overanalyze every dollar that you spend. They just want to see consistency and financial stability. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you got any value from this, please drop a comment below with a thumbs up or value or something like that, just letting me know that you actually enjoyed this video. If you do, it encourages me to make more content just like this. If you were approved for any Langley Federal Credit Union products, please drop your approval below. Would love to see that. And if you feel comfortable, drop your data points as well. That would help other people who may want to apply for those products be encouraged and empowered to do the exact same thing. Or they can compare those data points to what they currently have on their credit profile, hopefully to give them an idea of what they need in order to see these approvals. If you have any other questions for me, then you can definitely leave that in the comments as well. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.